Hey guys, so today I figured it'd be fun to go through some of my bookshelf and show you guys the books that I own. I figured it would be good just to go through the front half of my bookshelf first, and then maybe in a part 2 I'll go through the rest of my books. And if you think that's a good idea, then leave a thumbs up on this video and comment letting me know. And let's get on to the video. So here is the first half of my young adult hardcover books. First we have Renee Audier's The Wrath and the Dawn. And then I have Leigh Bardugo's Six of Crows, which is one of my favorite books of all time. And then I have Lips Touched 3 Times by Laini Taylor, which is a short story bind-up. And here I have 3 of Kiera Cass's The Selection books. I have The One, The Heir, and The Crown. And next I have The Kingdom of Little Wounds by Susan Kogel. And next is Frozen by Melissa De La Cruz and Michael Johnston. I got this book at the 99-cent store of all places. And the next book I have is Crescendo by Becca Fitzpatrick. I've actually read the Hush Hush series, but I only have this book for some reason. And then I have Half Lost by Sally Green, and I believe that this is the last book in the Half Bad trilogy. Don't quote me on that, I just haven't read it yet. And then the last book I have on this shelf is P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. And now here's the second half of my YA hardbacks shelf, and I think there are a few paperbacks mixed in with that. I really wish that these shelves were a bit prettier, but I don't really have a lot of room for my books and I have so many. So the first book I have on this side of the shelf is Sophie Kinsella's Finding Audrey. And then I have another one of my favorite books of all time, Ignite Me by Tahara Mafi, and I absolutely love this book, and if you haven't read the Shatter Me series, then you really need to. Here is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. And then here's a copy of The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead that I got from Target, and it's actually a signed copy, and it has her signature inside the front cover. And then here I have Fairest, which is The Lunar Chronicles story by Marissa Meyer. And then here I have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and I love this book so much I can't recommend it enough. If you haven't read any of Rainbow Rowell's works, then you have to read them, seriously. And then here's the book An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, and I really need to read this book and I can't wait to get into it. And then the last hardcover book I have on this shelf is Girl Online by Zoe Sugg. I actually filmed a review of that book on my channel, so I will link that either right now or somewhere in the down bar. And my first paperback book that I have on this shelf is Never Always Sometimes by Addie Elsad, and I actually got this book at LAX before I went to New Orleans, so it's kind of special. The next book I have is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken, and it's actually kind of funny because we share a first name. My name is also Alexandra, so I'm really excited to read this book. I haven't gotten to it yet. And the very last book I have on this shelf is Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Delaria. This next shelf is mostly paperback and mostly YA and adult books. And here, I think I have every single Dave Eggers book, I think. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. And here are the 5 of them that I have. Here I have A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius and A Hologram for the King. I really loved A Hologram for the King, I've already read it. It's a great book. And then here I have You Shall Know Our Velocity and Your Fathers, Where Are They, and the Prophets, Do They Live Forever? And then finally I have Zaytoon by Dave Eggers. I'm really hoping that I can read the rest of the novels that I haven't read. I've only read A Hologram for the King and You Shall Know Our Velocity, so maybe I'll get around to the rest of them. And then I have The Fortune Hunter by Daisy Goodwin. And then I also have All That Glows by Ryan Groudon. And then here I have an arc of Half Bad by Sally Green. This next book is A Little Something Different by Sandy Hall, and I actually have a review on my channel of this book, and I will link it either right now or down below. And then I have The Iron Daughter by Julie Kagawa, which I believe is the second book in the Iron Fae trilogy. I'm not sure if it's a trilogy or a series, but I have this one. I thought I had The Iron King, but I don't know where that went, so. And lastly, on this side of the shelf, I have Orange is the New Black by Piper Kerman. And here's the other side of my paperback shelf. I'm going to quickly go into my Sophie Kinsella books, at least the ones that I have displayed on my shelf. I kind of have a few of them, so I'm going to try and go through them really quickly. So here I have Remember Me by Sophie Kinsella, and then I also have Shopaholic and Sister. And then I have Shopaholic Ties the Knot and Shopaholic and Baby. And then finally I have Mini Shopaholic and 20s Girl. And then I have Milan Kundera's The Unbearable Lightness of Being. This next book I have is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and I actually just finished this book very recently, and I'm currently reading Crown of Midnight on my phone. This next book I have is Egg and Spoon by Gregory Maguire, and he also wrote Wicked. And then I have Cinder by Marissa Meyer. These next two books I have are Delirium and Pandemonium by Lauren Oliver. And then I have Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh. And then I have Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. I have Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple. The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. And Between the Spark and the Burn by April Genevieve Tucholk. And my last shelf is mostly adult books, adult hardbacks, and some reject YA novels. First I have Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibility, Arthur and George by Julian Barnes, and then I have Sugar and Spice by Lauren Conrad. And then by Cynthia Dupree Sweeney I have The Nest. And then, funnily enough, I have Beneath the Glitter by Ellen Blair Fowler, and it's actually a signed copy of the book, which is kind of strange, but yeah. And then I have The Other Boleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory. And then I have Sophie Kinsella's Shopaholic to the Stars. And then I have Defending Jacob by William Landy, and this is actually a personalized signed copy of this book. I actually met him, and he was really cool. And then for some reason I have two copies of The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. And now I finally have the last section of my bookshelf, and here are the books. The first book on this shelf is Allegiant by Veronica Roth. I have Rules of Civility by Amor Towles. I have The Devil Wears Prada by Lauren Weisberger. And then I have an arc of I Remember You by Kathleen David Bell. And then I have Then We Came to the End by Joshua Ferris. Beautiful Creatures by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. Every Day by David Levithan. Joe's Boys by Louisa May Alcott. Glimpses of Paradise by James Scott Bell. And then I have my last three books, which are Mastering Your Mean Girl by Melissa Ambrosini, Light is the New Black by Rebecca Campbell, and Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Alright, so that was my bookshelf tour, and if you would like to see more of my books, because I only showed you guys the front half of my bookshelf, then leave a comment down below letting me know and like this video, and then maybe I will do a part 2 to this little bookshelf tour. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!